So he becomes, the first dealer becomes dealer again. That means we have now entered the south round. That means this indicator has been flipped and is now showing south. He is the dealer, and we are now east-south. We are south in the south round, which means a triplet of south will give us a double hun. Sorry, a double winning condition. So it's a winning condition, and it scores us double. Let's see what our hand is. Aha. Not too shabby. We have 1 and 7. Not really interesting. We have 3 and 4. That's not bad. We have 8 and 7, 8 and 9, and we have 7. We just picked up the 7. So we have 7, 8, 9. That's good. We have 2, 4, 4. That's not bad. We have 8, 8, 8. That's cool. And the Dora indicator is the pin 1, meaning the pin 2 doubles the value of your hand. And we have 3 and 4. That's waiting for 2 and 5. So if we're lucky, we complete this with a 2 and double the value of our hand. Isn't that great? And we've only just started. Now this is a really good starting hand. Let's remain flexible. The east is worth nothing to us. Probably best to get rid of the numbers. Right, but the east is worth nothing to us. And I'd rather keep the flexibility with the numbers and get rid of the east right away. Especially since it's the south round. Ah, north also means nothing to us. If we wanted to play like more defensively, we would keep the east as a safe tile for later, or especially this north, but we'll also get rid of that. Let's see how flexible we can be in this hand. We don't want to open the hand. This is a 3, we could call it for 2, 3, 4, but we're not. Yeah. Now a red dragon would give us something. But since this is we're already 3 discards in, we might as well get rid of that as well. And those 2 have discarded it as well. Now we have a 6. Now there is one very obvious discard. Mazentius, please don't spoil it. If possible, would anyone else like to guess what the obvious discard is? We have characters 1. We have 6 and 7 in characters. We have the low number, exactly. Do you know what that number is? And we have 3, 4, we have 7, 8, 9, we have 2, 4, 4, and we have 8, 8, 8. It is 1, indeed. Uno, correct. So we discard this one. Very good. Ah, 7. Quick side note to keep in mind, 7 does not connect to 4 because they're 3 apart. Never mind, Herb Derb. If it's just east or east and south, I still would love to do a full 4-round game sometime. I mean, for the lulls, you can do that. Like, especially if you're like playing it in a pub and drinking at night. Like, that doesn't really matter. Nice. No need to collect 2 more cards. Uno. Yes. Very nice. Okay. Now, here's a funky thing about 7888. Let's talk that through, because it's kind of important for later theory. If we have 7888, oh, that's FTL, isn't it? 7888 is a very interesting way of having a 3-sided weight. Remember how like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 was a 3-sided weight waiting on 1, 4, and 7. Now, 7888, if we assume that we do not have a pair, is also waiting on 3 pieces. Assume for now that the rest of our hand is finished, is completed, but we don't have a pair yet. What are the 3 tiles? Now for the non-active players in chat, if you would like to make a guess, 6, 7, and 9. Perfect. Right? We can divvy this out. Well, first of all, we can divvy it out like this, and we wait on the 7 for a pair of 7 and a triplet of 8s. Or we can divvy it up like this, and we wait on 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8, 9. So we're waiting on 6, 7, and 9. Also interesting is that the 6 or the 9 will not give us mini points, right? Because it's a sequence and a pair. Whereas the 7 will get us mini points because we have a triplet of 8s, which will give us mini points, and we are waiting on a pair, which will also give us mini points. All right? So that's to keep in mind. If we don't have a pair, 7888 is a really neat thing to have. Now, you could argue we do have a pair with 44, but we also have a 2, so this might turn into 234. Let's check. What is the likeliest thing to happen next? We have 4 and 7, which means a 5 or an 8 will complete the sequence. We have 3 and 4, which means a 2 and a 5 will complete the sequence. This is done. 2, 4, 4, which mean a 3 would make this into a sequence, a 4 would make this into a triplet. Everything else isn't that good. So there's still 2 things that can happen here, but it's less likely because we already have 2 of the 4s. If we discard the 2, then we have a pair here. That means we don't technically need this 7888 strategy. However, if we then pick another 4, then we're back in the game. What we definitely don't want to discard is the 3 and 4. Because on the one hand, it has the 2 and the 5, which is 2-sided weight, but this also has that. But this also waits for the 2, which is a Dora. So we don't want to get rid of that. We might consider breaking up this. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to discard the 2 and see what else happens. Automod saw hate speech in that sentence and, and said, I just hate the Chinese. I just hate the Chinese mambos, always mix them up. Yeah, but I think you can reasonably easy. It's reasonably easy to get into that with a bit of practice. Okay, so we discard the 2 and see what happens. Aha! Pin 1. Pin 1 does not help. While pin 1 does connect with 1, 2, 3, by getting a 2 is also already something with 2, 3, 4. So we discard the 1. Ah, another 3. We already have an abundance of pairs, so we get rid of the 3. Ah, white dragon. Not useful. 9. Not useful. 6, 7 connects with 8. Ah. Oh. Huh. Well, if someone really comes here and says that, then I can still ban them myself. Yeah. That's not good. Alright, we'll get rid of the 9. Ah! Oh. Yasume. So we have achieved the cheaper of the 2 options. Thankfully, there's few people here who would misuse that. Alright, so the game kindly tells us that we are in Tenpai. So if we declare, it has legitimate meaning here. You're saying we should add quotes. Please don't. Maybe not. So, let's... I'm just going to ignore what is happening in chat. Let us quickly talk our way through what our hand is and what our hand can and will be. 3, 4, 5, that's fixed. 7, 8, 9, that's fixed. 6 and 7 is probably waiting. Is probably what we're going to be waiting. 4, 4 is most likely our pair. And then we have this 7, 8, 8, 8. Now, remember that 7, 8, 8, 8 is only a 3-sided weight if we don't have a pair. But given that we have this 4, 4 as very much fixed, this will be our pair, which means we won't need a pair here. Which means we will discard the 7, keep this as a triplet, and wait for 5 and 8 here. Quick overview. None of these have been discarded, so we have a total of 8 outs. We declare Riichi, and we discard the 7. Oh, a cheat. Now, quick word of advice. Remember how, like, if within the first round after your reach, you win, your hand doubles again. Any call of any sort interrupts that. So even if you were to discard now a winning tile from me now, it would not double the value of my hand. It didn't. We picked the white dragon. We cannot rearrange our hand anymore. We promised that by twisting this tile and declaring Riichi. We're waiting for 5 and 8. 6, 7. We have 6, 7. This is a 4. Ooh, another call. So he didn't just call this. Hopefully 4, 4 will turn up in time. 4, 4. Sainsbury? That means he's still in the game. He's not going to play safe. So, even though we do not have many active decisions anymore, we can still try to piece together what his hand might become. And I have a quite decent hunch. Because, you see, all he discarded, with 3 exceptions, were terminals and honors. Right? We have wind, 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 wind. Dragon, dragon, dragon. 9, 9, 1. There is a very, very simple winning condition, which is just no terminals and honors. So your entire hand consists only of the tiles 2 to 8, and of course decomposes into a winning pattern. So into like triplets and a pair, or 7 pairs. That also works, right? So he will most likely, and I think it's almost guaranteed at this point because Bamlam Garden. I mean, we can really only discard this. Ooh. Okay, discard the 3. Discard the 7. Discard the 6. Discard the 2. Yeah. That was super risky for several reasons. We couldn't do anything else. We are forced. We are a discard machine the moment we declare Riichi. Right? So we had to throw that away. It was unsafe if we had still had the choice, it would be unsafe for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's a non-terminal or honor, right? It's a tile from 2 to 8, and that is most likely what he's waiting on. Number 2, this is really engaging stuff, by the way. Don't feel you have to limit to 30 minutes a day if you'd rather do this more. I would love to, but not everyone might share that view. We will see how it goes, and but thank you very much for saying that. I really appreciate that. You share that view. That's very nice. But I also don't want to turn this, quote-unquote, back into a Mahjong channel. That's 100 people who had voted. 100% people who voted. I seconded the second time. Nice. Okay. So, also, during actual games with people, there is time limits. Like, you have 5 seconds to discard something. So, I won't be able to explain that much. Also, there is a possibility that the people who I'm playing with are hearing the stream but not watching the stream. They might be in a voice chat with me, for example, so I won't be able to explain any part of my hand. They won't be watching the stream because then they'd see my hand, which is, of course, problematic. Okay, so there was a ROM. Pin 2. In that case. So might be worth trying to find a way to draw on stream so you. Oh, interesting. I could type things in like a text box to make explanations. That's good. That's good. I like that. I like that idea. Doc, have you ever seen that? That's an interesting suggestion. We're stepping into new territory of Mahjong streaming here. Well, but it does kind of reveal something when... Oh, he's typing. Because you can hear the keyboard clicking. Oh, by the way, Doc, if you're still here, what I wanted to ask last time, but that was just at the moment where Discord crashed yesterday. I'm assuming that your streams with viewers, you're playing with viewers, your friendlies, are honor-based, that they don't watch the stream, but they hear you in like Discord or the chat. Is that correct? And they can still read the chat. Is that accurate? I'm not sure. All right, let's take a look at this guy's hand and see what else, how much we have to pay. Because we dealt into his hand, so now we get to pay. Aha! So, let's start with the multipliers first. As predicted, and as was blatantly obvious at this point, it is the non-terminals and honors hand, which is 1 multiplier. Secondly, he has 2 multipliers in there because he has this pin 2 and he has this pin 2, right? This goes into his hand, so he now has a total of 3 multipliers, 3 hand. Let's count the mini points, just in case. We have a concealed triplet of non-terminals and honors, which is worth 4, and that's it. So 20 plus 4 is 24. Oh, and the weight. He was waiting on a single tile, so that's 24 plus 2 is 26, rounded up to 30. So this is a 330 error. Now, immediately I want to shout Zanku, but of course he is dealer, so it's not Zanku, so I add half of 3,900? No. Yes. Hang on, let me think. I can do this. Which is like 6,000, so like 5,800? Yes! Now, for some reason, 330 is a super common hand, and it's really, really easy to remember the point scoring for this. Because it's got all those 3s in there, right? And so 330 is worth 3,900. But it's a dealer draw, so it's actually, you add 50% on top of that. So if you add 50% of 3,900, you kind of arrive at 5,800. So we pay that, and we are still 3,300 points in front of him. But he was dealer, he won, we are in first repetition.